Hey YouTube. So yeah, my video is kind of gritty. I wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. We're going to talk about my exhaustion, our exhaustion. I'm exhausted, okay? And maybe I don't know how to speak English too clearly, but I am a United States citizen. I was born here. And on my father's side, people have been here. They were enslaved peoples. They're African American. They've been here for several generations. On my mom's side, there's immigrants, there's black people, there's indigenous people. She's more multi-generationally mixed. And here I am. Here I am. Notably black, you know, and a little bit frightening. Not not really, but some people are apprehensive. So there's implicit bias that exists, and I deal with it every single day. I'm exhausted because while we all have to advocate for ourselves and stand up for ourselves here and there, notably black women, not light skinned women who are unambiguous, not from what I know, white passing women. A lot of them are protected in our very own community, more than notably black and unambiguous women of color, and a lot of them are often uplifted while we're degraded or looked down upon. So this happens. It's not, like fucking rocket science. This is our history. People associating associating good qualities with those who are white passing. But I've experienced a great deal of like happiness and people showing genuine interest in my distinctiveness, like what makes me black. So like the things that I have that are natural and really what makes me notably black, my black or ethnic identifiers. People rave in that more today in my adult life than I've ever experienced. And when I say people, I'm talking about people that are not black. They respect and have a different type of appreciation for what I have naturally today that I've never experienced before when I was younger. So I do see that things have changed and people are more comfortable and confident with embracing dark skin and seeing the beauty in us and making a point to make that known, and not being so apprehensive. However, um that's on the street, that's like when that's when I'm like in the Publix or at the Target or going to the movies. People are like, I like your outfit, I like your hair, you have such beautiful skin. These are really uplifted compliments, and it's not like this apprehensive, like she's different. Should I compliment her, or I'm gonna wait till no one's around to say, I really like your natural curly hair. And yes, I'm wearing hair extensions, but this is my natural hair in the front. My hair is naturally curly. I'm just too lazy to deal with to grow all of my hair out past my to this length, okay? But my natural hair is actually very very much like this. If I put Eco Styler gel and some type of leave-in in it. Okay, this is like my natural curls in the front after I washed it and put some gel in it. So yeah, so I do wear my hair natural looking, and I get more compliments than I ever have in my entire life. Today in 2024, 2023. So I'm happy. Like I'm living a good life as an adult, and I'm like, yeah, things are changing. But I still have to advocate for myself more. I have to tell sometimes doctors on how they ought to treat me, how they should treat me. I have to tell nurses sometimes what, how what I deserve and how I should be treated. I've had to do this several times when I was in labor and delivering, okay? My children. I have two kids, and I have to I have to advocate. I had to advocate for myself in school settings. Even as a parent, I have to kind of go the extra mile and make sure that people are aware that it's not that I'm not reading to my child. It's just that my daughter has a condition where some of what she sees is scrambled, and I don't want to go into detail about it because people don't want to use the term dyslexia anymore. That's totally fine, but she does have certain impairments, and she is accommodated for it. But people assume that I just am a lazy Black person that doesn't want to read to my kid. And this is not everybody, but there are people who do actually feel that fucking way, and it's evident. And it does bother me. And I thought that it would be best for myself to like not be bothered by that. But I'm okay with being bothered by that because it's perfectly natural. And so the difference between me and a lot of the older women, or just my generation, a lot of older women in our community, is that there's a certain type of vulnerability that notably Black women have today. Like there's a certain type of vulnerability that we can have today that many of the women in our community in the past really couldn't have, and they had to be far more tough. Okay, unfortunately, people have women. We kind of do this thing. We do this thing where we make the things that we have to adapt to that's not natural, like natural. Like we, you know what I'm saying? And it's not actually natural for us to not be vulnerable. So like we are women, and it's just that we've had to advocate for ourselves and we've had to be tough, and it's tiring, but we've had to do that in the past in this country. We're not having to do that as much anymore, and we shouldn't. Even if like sometimes in some places or cases we may need to, it may benefit our daughters and our children if we are more vulnerable and emotional, which is really risky. It's not because not everyone comes to my defense because of implicit bias, because there are people that are just programmed to just not want to think that I'm up to no good. So what good is it for them to protect me or to join in or to say something? These are fucking things. These are real things. Like it's not. I'm not making this shit up. I really wish I was. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting because I'm a person. I'm a mom, and I get tired. I'm not that strong. Okay, like I can't. I can fight, but I'm getting older. My I have kids, and I'm just not as strong or as tough, and I'm certainly not that wealthy. A lot of Black women have secured themselves in amassing a great deal of wealth. So they don't, so they're protected in that way. A lot of notably Black women, I know there's men on this platform who are like, we don't care about your degrees. We don't care that you're intelligent. Okay. We don't care how much money you have. And like, okay, but we don't care either that you don't care because we're trying to be safe. We can't afford to continuously live in certain places where we're not safe. We can't afford to travel like regular people because there are people out there that really will harm us and no one will come to our defense. So it makes sense that there are a lot of Black women that are highly successful making a lot of money because they have to provide security for themselves at a higher level. But I would be lying to you guys if I sat here and I said that shit isn't exhausting, because it is. It's what people have to do, but it's tiring. And we want to show vulnerability and just relax and rest and be at peace. But it's, I don't really know how we can really go about doing it entirely. Like we can do it in certain spaces. So I talked about exclusivity. Like I can't speak English that great. I'm sorry. But I talked about being exclusive and like being more introverted and being more low profile and having like little small communities and like small friendship circles and really keeping people at arm's length and just getting comfortable with being more introverted instead of putting yourself out there, because you can be more vulnerable in those spaces and you're safe. That was kind of like what I was referring to when I said women who are Black um should be more exclusive and stop putting themselves out there. Stop networking so much and making yourself available or readily available. Like be the person that people really just have to hunt down. Like I'm that person. Like I have people that are friends and they're like, I think about you and I want to, you know, talk to you, contact you, but you're nowhere to be found. It's because like I'm very, very, very selective in who I spend my time with. It's mainly just my family, my man, my kids. So yeah, and I have a few friends and coworkers that I may like chat with, but for the most part, it's just a very small group of people. Um, so yeah, so if you have these smaller, intimate spaces and circles, you will have security. You will have more of a secure or tight space to be vulnerable, and people have to really know you. When you have a smaller circle, if you have a large following, I mean, really, these people are just following you because other people that they like follow you. But if you have a smaller community around you, then these people actually like you, and then more than often, they're going to want to defend you. So that's what I mean when I say let's be exclusive and not put ourselves out there like that. Um, it took me time to get there. I've been through a lot. And there are people on this platform that want to keep me down and, make me to be who I used to be. And it's not going to work in their favor. There's all these stereotypes about Black women, and we can go and talk about how um, you have to advocate for yourself at work if you want to get a raise. And so our counterparts, white women, will be like, okay, I want a raise and I deserve it, and here's why. But they may not have to go the extra mile and they may not have someone look at them and say, well, prove that this is your work. It's a really good work. Prove it. Like it's just there's this extra layer of work and having to prove ourselves that we have to do. And it's so exhausting. Okay. So what do you guys think? How do you feel? Comment below. Bye.